Alrighty folks, want to welcome you back to another video from Yates Computers Tips and Reviews. This one was one I had to do some studying and some research and to better inform everybody on this information. This is really when I start troubleshooting things that I end up almost getting to and always getting stuck on, that this is mostly the problem with most issues. This is understanding memory. Go ahead and read that and understand what memory is and how it is different than a hard drive. Knowing what memory you have is very important. Knowing the difference. Knowing what memory actually does. Because I know a lot of people out there will go out and buy huge amounts of memory thinking that's what they need in their computer. Oh, I need at least 256 megs of memory. Okay, how many memory sticks are you using? Oh, 2 or you know, I've heard and seen computers running 3 memory sticks. I've talked about in some of my other videos where they have 12 gigs of memory in a computer. That is just so wrong. That is mixing and matching memory. That is mixing and matching size of memory. That is causing a lot of issues that really you don't want to do. Yeah, probably most people would be okay with that. Probably won't run into issues. I ran into issues. This came from the manufacturer this way. They did not follow standard and best practices. So I have other videos on memory, single channel, dual channel, all of that type of stuff. I have a bunch of videos on other stuff. Go back and look at those because I don't want to go through a whole lot of that on this presentation. This is about the actual memory stick itself. So here is a little brief definition of memory. There is basically kind of 2 sizes of memory. You have the bigger stick that goes into computer towers and servers. On that first slide, you'll see it up top, the bigger stick. You have a smaller size stick that goes into laptops. As you can see, the form factors are different. Down here on the bottom, I'm sure a lot of people have seen this type of thing on memory sticks. Most memory sticks I've dealt with usually only have 3 numbers. Other factors that come into play is single-sided and dual-sided type of memory. These are kind of the form factor sides. In here it talks about laptops and servers together. They technically are not together. There's technically different memory for a laptop and a server. There's error correction memory that can go into a server. So it is technically different, but the form factor is the same. So the size of the memory, where the little slot is in the memory, all of those things are the same except for the memory itself. So I wanted to go through that and elaborate that because it gets confusing. Memory can kind of get confusing. You can't lump it as simple as, oh yeah, this fits in desktops and servers. A lot of servers will take either or what. You have to find out what your motherboard actually supports. One of the other factors I have been seeing, and I have it down below, is what voltage your memory is. That seems to be coming up a lot too in this newer memory. There's voltages and other things that come into play that are a little different. So on here I have the timing. So most timing, from what I understand, is these numbers, if they're lower, are better. Timing is kind of a latency. Timing is how long it takes for that memory to react to the command. How long before the system asks for something or for it to do something and it does it. So the lower numbers are supposedly better. That comes into play when you purchase memory and other things. Sometimes that don't come into play at all. But if you're trying to get the same memory later on to add to another system, this is really where I find a lot of my issues. Is we have computers that are going crazy. When I start looking at the timing numbers, the numbers aren't the same. A lot of times if I get memory that the same timing numbers, all those little bugs in the machine, ghosts in the machines, all of those little fancy little hiccups go away. This is where I find a lot of my issues, is in that timing. That's why that presentation photo is there. So next, it is what kind of memory do you need? So when you buy memory, what do you need to figure out first is the form factor. Is it the larger sticks for your computer, the smaller sticks, server memory, DDR1, DDR2, DDR3, DDR4, DDR5? I'm sure you know of DDR5, that's what's coming out now, DDR6. And I think there's DDR7. DDR6, DDR7 are used for video cards. Pretty soon that will be out in memory forms. Of course, then you have your memory speed. If you look on the labels, it will tell you your memory speed. 1600, 4400, 4600, 5300, 5800. There's lots of different memory speeds. Timing. That goes back to that graph, and there's one over here with the circle that has timing numbers. 99924. That's your timing. Power. You can actually see it right next to that, but there's a red circle on it that gives you a power. Some memory uses different power. What size do you need? Now that is not talking about the size of your memory stick as in what form. Is it for your laptop or is it for your desk? This is talking about how much memory do you need. Is it 8 gigs, 4 gigs, 16 gigs? How much memory is on that stick? Next, you have how many sticks do you need? Of course, I have videos on all of that, single channel, dual channel, all of that stuff with the performance. But again, all of these factors really need to be checked on what your motherboard supports. Because if you get too high of a speed, your motherboard might not support it. It might crash. You might not be able to go in and configure it. Timings, I don't think there's too many issues with timings other than making sure they're the same on the sticks. Power. I know there used to be some issues with power. Depending on what kind of memory you got and higher performance and all of that stuff, sometimes the board does not have enough power to support that. If you've got a lower end board, it might not provide enough power to that higher end memory. Size of memory. That used to be a major factor. A lot of that was originated by the Windows operating system. There are some cheaper boards out there that don't support up to a certain size of memory. So you got to be careful of that. And of course, how many sticks? 1 stick, 2 sticks, 4 sticks, servers, 6, 8, 12, 50 sticks. And I did say 50 because if you have multiple processors and they have their own memory, you may need more sticks. Based on that and how many sizes you have. Based on how many channels you are running. When you get into servers, go back and see that video because you might have 8 channels for that server. Do you want to put 1 gig of memory in each channel? Do you want to put 4 gigs, 8 gigs, 64 gigs? When is too much too much? 64 should be way too much per channel. 64 per processor is different. you would put in more sticks to equal the 64. And you have more channels. So go back and look at those videos. This is really where a lot of that comes into play. Gaming machines. Most gaming machines should have 2 slots for memory. So you obviously wouldn't need 4. So that's where that comes into play, to know what your motherboard actually supports and what you can put in there. What kinds of memory, what speeds, what power. All of these things come into play that are so different. If you look at the little memory stick and if you look at the label on the big memory stick, you will see there's a difference. You will see on the little memory stick, I believe there's just the 3 numbers. You got your speed, you got your type, and you got your size. Reading it backwards. Reading it forwards, you got your memory size. That's should be your type of memory. So that would be DDR2, DDR3, DDR4, 5, your speed, your timing. Those are some important informations to know what your memory actually is, and to be aware of that. A lot of people aren't aware of that. Knowing single-sided and dual-sided used to be one of the big factors that I used to run across a lot. Some boards would not support 4 dual-sided memory. They would support 2. So you really have to look into that to figure out what your board supports. And if that's still a factor today, you got to watch out for it. Knowing what DDR is. DDR is dual data rate memory. With Windows 11, I doubt anybody is going to be running anything lower than this. Unless it's some kind of server and it takes some kind of specific oddball memory out there that I don't know of. So I'm not going to go into that. I might do legacy. I think I have some stuff in legacy stuff, but most of it is going to be DDR. You're probably looking at 3, 4, and 5, possibly 6 coming out. That's what you're going to be using. You're not going to be using any of the older stuff. As you can see from the picture, where the little notch is underneath usually is a little different. Usually you cannot put DDR2 in a DDR3 slot. It's designed so you know that that is wrong. You can't just jam it in there. So that's what I wanted to go through. The transfer speeds are different. There's a lot of different factors that come into play. So this is a quick little look over on memory. Knowing these things can cause you to resolve a lot of issues and a lot of headaches, and to not have any weird issues. And what's funny is you can have 10 computers all set up the same, mix match memory, different clocks, and one might have an error running a very specific piece of software at a very specific place. The other 9 might be perfectly fine. You might have 2 out of that 10 that have errors, that have a problem, and they may not be the same problem. You might have problems with 2 different separate applications, just depending on how it writes to memory, how it does things, what's going on, what other applications are running, and you have these weird ghosts into the machine issues that you can never quite figure out what is going on. How do you troubleshoot it? How do you fix this? What is going on? And you can spend hours and years trying to figure this out, and when you finally decide I've had enough of this machine and you change it out, it's what happened to me. I've talked about it in a past thing. We changed out a machine because we just got tired of it. We'll put a different one in there, blah, 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 blah. When we went to scrap it and I took it apart, took the memory out to set it aside, I realized one of the major factors that was wrong with it. Down here in the white, these timing numbers. They did not match. So at some time it looks like somebody put more memory in because they thought that system needed more memory, but did not put the right timing numbers in. It did not physically match that memory. Memory speed was the same. I did not look at power usage. The size of the memory was the same. There was just 2 sticks. And I believe it had 4 slots. So they were running in separate channels. They weren't running in the same channel with 2 sticks of memory in it. So it was very interesting to see that issue. And I can almost bet that that's what it was, because we have a lot of that same model computer in the building that are the same exact specs, same parts, all of that, except for most of them have 1 stick of memory. And that's why someone put another stick in there and you had these problems. I know a lot of people, when they buy computers, will buy it with the 2 sticks in it or the 1 stick in it. I know a lot of people that buy only 1 stick of memory in a computer, so it runs in single channel, to avoid all of these kind of issues. Well, then you're running in single channel. Well, yeah, you do avoid a lot of this timing and matching and other things. But if you order it in dual channel, when you get it all at the same time, it's the same memory. So a lot of people just avoid this. So I don't see a lot of research and a lot of people out there telling people, hey, watch out for this. Be careful of this. Make sure you got this stuff right. Because if your timings don't match and your speeds don't match and other stuff, you have a single-sided and a dual-sided in the same computer, you can have issues. And it's a very weird scenario to go through. And you have a bunch of headaches from it. So I wanted to go through and do this video on it so people can understand what is going on. And it's really a complicated thing to do, because unless you deal with this a lot and you troubleshoot a lot of issues, you might not run across this. You might put a 2nd stick of memory in your computer, it works fine for you, you're happy with it, and you don't even notice these issues. But when you do have these issues, this is why you have them, is you're not watching out for these things. So I think I'll wrap this video up and thank everybody for watching. And check out all the other videos and everything else I have. Alrighty, thank you so much.